it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no one for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections. Oh, if I let you, don't take me for granted. Yeah. If I'm worth more than you could manage, yeah. Oh, be with me, oh, we could be honest. Closer to me, oh, giving me solace. Promise that you won't let me fall. Holding me tight, loving me right, giving me life, all like you could be. Telling me lies, making me cry, wasting my time the whole time, so just be. If I was you, take for granted, yeah. Cause with me, know you could do damage. You could do damage. You do damage, yeah. Well, we bout it, I'm putting pressure. You'll only get me if I let you. No, we ain't doing this just for pleasure. Even learn me your own lesson. If you want me, don't take me for granted. Yeah. If I'm worth more than you could manage, baby. Oh, you'll fall with me. Oh, we could be honest. Closer to me. Oh, giving me solace. Promise that you won't let me fall. Holding me tight, loving me right, giving me life, all like you could be. Telling me lies, making me cry, wasting my time the whole time, so just be. If I was you, take for granted, yeah. Cause with me, know you could do damage. You could do damage. You do damage. Oh, you could do damage. Oh, you could do damage. Yeah. Oh, you could do damage.
It's different when I'm sitting here alone all by myself. It's different when I think you might be with somebody. It's different. This shit, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's different when I'm sitting here alone all by myself. It's different when I think you might be with somebody. It's different. This shit,
when you pull up with an and it's
Okay, so in my previous vlog, we gotta wait for the music. Okay, so in my last vlog, I talked about how I have to get an ID because my permit expired in August, and obviously you wouldn't think that you'd be able to use an expired license as a form of ID. So I brought all my documents back with me, went to the DMV, got a whole ID. I had the paper version because it takes like 2 weeks for them to send you the physical version in the mail. So I have my paper version and I have, everything else I need to get on the plane. And we get in the line, get to the airport. We had like an hour before our flight was going to board. And we're in line. Everybody in my family except for me goes up. And then I'm last because we know it's going to most likely be a problem. So I hand the paper ID to the person at the desk and they're like, this isn't gonna work. Like, you don't have any other form of ID? And I'm like, no, because I left my permit here because I just didn't feel like taking an expired permit with me anywhere would be beneficial. So she calls her like supervisor and it takes her like 5 minutes to come. The supervisor, she kind of, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't expect the TSA agents to have the best customer service, but she was not pleasant. Like she was kind of making it feel like it was a hassle for her to do her job. And it's like, if I could have it my way, I would not want to be in this position anyway. I'm just trying to get on the plane so that we don't have any issues getting to our destination. So she comes over and she's like, how old are you? Tell her my age. And I tell her like why I don't have any identification. Like, all I had is the permit. I left the permit at home, so I have my paper ID from the DMV. And so she's like, yeah, so I'm gonna have to call this number and they're gonna be asking me questions about your identity. So you have to answer the questions about your identity correctly or you can't get on the plane. I'm like, okay. So she calls the agency and she has me fill out a form, and then they're asking her the questions to ask me. And then I answer them all correctly. So after I answer them all correctly, she takes me to like the part where you put all of your belongings in the box. In the box, I guess. Or tray. And she's like, so yeah, take all your clothes off, jackets, empty your pockets, put it in the tray, and you're gonna have to go through extra security screening. So when they say extra security screening, I'm thinking like the technology that shows them what's in the bags are going to be a bit more high tech or something. But what that meant was they're going to be going through my stuff, even if there's no red flags relating to liquid, whatever, all the bad stuff you're not supposed to bring on the plane. So they open up my book bag, take every single piece of take all my electronic devices. They run a little tag over all of it, put it in this machine, no alarm detected for all my stuff. So then my suitcase, this is where the problem started. The TSA agent brings my suitcase over and I'm like, oh, is there a problem with that bag? No, this is actually my backpack. The suitcase, she looked in it as well, but no, this is my backpack. So she gets my backpack and I'm like, is there an issue with the liquid in there? The only liquid I should have in there is the perfume that I bought, and I know that it's like less than 4 ounces, so it like meets the requirements. And she's like, maybe. And I'm like, there's really no need. Like, this is not the moment. It already feels very invasive for you to have to be going through all of my stuff and then all of this extra screening. Like, I'm asking you a question and I just want to know, is there going to be a problem with my perfume? And I'm like, is there a problem with that bag? And she's like, maybe. So I just take a deep breath. So then she goes through my bag and she pulls out my shea butter. And at this point, I'm like, what's the problem now? It's in solid form. Solid form is not a liquid. So I guess I'm going to just take the L and say, I guess it was my fault for not checking the requirements. But I would never think that shea butter would be a problem. So she basically said that I can't have my shea butter because it's not 3.8 ounces. And this is the shea butter that I whipped in my vlog, the fresh batch that I whipped in my last vlog. Now I'm upset because I did all this trip prep for what? And so I had to end up throwing the entire fresh batch of shea cocoa butter in the trash at the airport. And then I started crying from frustration because I hate to prepare for things and then my preparation time is wasted. And it was very frustrating. It was a very stressful and anxiety-inducing time. So I was very upset because my shea butter that I buy is from Ghana. And then I buy this specific brand of cocoa butter. So I was like, I don't even want to go through the hassle of getting to LA and then trying to figure out where I can get shea butter from because, you know, I just like doing things myself and I just like that routine of like, I make my shea butter, I know what's in it. I just have ultra sensitive skin. Once it likes something, I don't need to be changing it up. So when we get to, my mom was like, you know, we can buy you some more. So I ended up going to Target and getting this shea butter, and I'm very thankful that my dad bought it for me and I didn't have to pay for it with my own money, but it just wasn't the same, you know? Like, it just wasn't the same. And guys, the way my body reacted to not having my body butter for like, we left Monday, came back, was that Saturday? Yeah, for like 6 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 6 days, my body not having my regular moisturizing routine. My skin was so scaly and crackly. Like, all of the replacement things that I was using were not cutting it. So that was scary. I was like, oh yeah, so I know that my body butter is really working because my skin did not react well to not having the butter. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about my experience going through security. And I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know I wasn't talking much. I was more just showing what I saw on the trip. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video whenever I post.